Good morning, Sticks and Skins fans. It is a day later than normal. Uh, I was
Hours.
tired. I was tired from moving my parents yesterday. Corey had family things he was doing,
His parents are heavy.
so yeah, they're both retired. So I want to hurt my back, not theirs. Um, so we are here today. We are talking the sticks portion of our show. We focus primarily on sports the first few episodes, but the name does imply we also care and want to talk about video games. So we figured what better time to do it than now, considering I'm going to London for the next few weeks. So this will be the last one for a while. I know y'all are going to miss us. So, but just to give you a quick history of us as gamers. I mean, I've played video games since I can remember. I have home videos back in the day of me playing the regular Nintendo. So just all the way since then, I've just been an avid gamer, playing pretty much everything and trying everything. Even if we play a demo and hate it, we're still buy it and then stop an hour later.
Yeah, a lot of money wasted on video games. That's for sure. Yeah, no, but yeah, I had the Atari early on, but I don't. I only vaguely recall playing that. It's pretty much as playing the original Mario on the NES.
hmm So we decided to talk about some of the games we play on a weekly basis, considering that is something we can talk at length about because we have probably sickening amount of hours put into
I was gonna
most of the
say
games we're going to talk about.
considerable experience, one might say.
Yeah, not something we want to broadcast to family. Oh, you
But we
spent that
are.
much time with there? Well, we're going to start with what we usually start with on our gaming Friday nights is a Rocket League,
So
a
good.
game we have kind of played from the beginning. Uh, to give you an idea of when we first started playing, we wanted to get the platinum trophy for it. So, not knowing how long we'd play it, we found a trick that we could use rubber bands to make our car go in circles while we were sleeping to make it seem like we were playing to get the trophy for hours played.
Yeah. Although
Uh,
I don't think we were the only. I'm certain that we weren't the only
no,
ones because people would be doing it like, what's wrong with them? Yeah.
yeah. And traditionally, I mean, a game doesn't last as long as Rocket League. Usually they come out like with Rocket League 2 or
Hmm.
something. So in our defense, we kind of figured, well, if they come out with another one, we'll get that one. So this won't be played that much. But 8 years later, like, we're still playing.
Yeah. No, I mean, because we played that right when I got to Kentucky. So that was
Yeah.
2016, I think.
Yeah, it's been a solid 6, 7 years.
And it is funny if you look at how much better we've gotten over the span of 7 years, um, and the fact that like, we started as bronze and now we flirt with diamond on the regular. Although it does sort of feel like we've maxed out.
Yeah, but I think we felt that in platinum for a long time too. Uh, but yes, you talk about where we started. That was actually where I wanted to start our talk about this. Is just where do you see like going from bronze to where we're at? Well, like what do you think has been the main reason for that, aside from the hours we put in? If somebody's watching this and stuck in like one of those lower tiered, what would be a pointer you would get them? Hey, try doing this or this to help get you to be a better player.
No, well, I mean, ball cam for sure, right? Like it took, you're better because of sure practice. But if you're not using ball cam, at least at times, then I think you're doing it wrong. But I really do, and I'll give you credit for this. It's what when we started to do stuff in the air, because we were on the ground for the longest time, we couldn't really figure out the sticks. You said, "Well, I'm going to be aerial guy." Yeah, well, then I got into God mode and I became aerial guy. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think that's when we sort of took that next jump is when we started doing stuff in the air.
Yeah, and that's that is a hard thing to get, and um, if you play lower levels, you see that it is a lot of ground based action, just like our real life, which we stay tethered to the ground pretty well by gravity and weight. Um, the mass, I shouldn't say weight. Yeah, weight is determined by gravity's force. But yeah, aerials is
Boo.
probably a big a big thing. Um, I'd also say uh, if you have teammates, is just learning how to rotate and be in a spot to either help the team or prevent something bad from happening.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, when we didn't rotate and when we would play on top of each other, so many long goals.
Yeah, and I feel like the past, as we went up the last probably half year, that happens way less now because we're better at realizing, okay, I can't get this. I'm going to start heading back now.
Hmm.
And that's another thing. Like you're not going to get every ball. I think when you first start playing, you think I have to go for everything, and just realizing, okay, they're going to beat me to the ball. So what's the point of me going? Probably not hitting it, and then those long distance Casey Kasems happen.
Oh yeah,
Because
gosh,
for a
whiffing
long
too.
time, like every game when we lost is because of those.
Or we would have multiple, and
Yes.
then we would play 4 or 5 rounds. I would just get mad and yeah.
The common phrase there was, "Let's go to Warzone."
I mean, it was the common phrase.
But I think that's another thing too. I actually just watched a TikTok about this last night. Is like trying not to get frustrated with the game, because there are going to be people better than you. We do know that, like, if you look at the ping during the game, that can make a big difference.
Hmm.
And just like know you're going to have just some games where, okay, just try to have fun with it. I think the last half year again, I've done a better job of just not getting as pissed off playing the game and
Oh,
just
good dirt
trying
mouth.
to laugh stuff off, laugh stuff off.
Yeah. So have I.
No, you have you've mellowed out with Rocket League. That is for sure.
Yeah. But but it's just hard because it's like either we're winning or somebody else is cheating against us, and it's just we can't.
It's never our fault.
Oh
But
my
I think
gosh.
Rocket League is a perfect example of how a game that can be free to play, or at least free for a certain amount of time, can really be profitable for a. Because I don't know if it is anymore because we've had it for so long. But when we got Rocket League, it was free on PS Plus,
Hmm.
and then we think about you more than me, but we've each spent a decent amount of money on skins and gold. Like so,
More than I care to
uh,
admit.
would we have bought that game if it wasn't free and tried it out? I don't know.
I
So I
don't
mean, I
think
think
so.
that's a good example of like, hey, get it out there in people's hands, and if you have a good product, they're going to put money into it.
If you stream it, they will
Yeah.
buy it
A little modification of Field of Dreams there.
terribly.
But I think you're right. Like I think everyone reaches a plateau in Rocket League, and uh, it's just like you have to figure out what is going to be the next step. Like I've tried to do a lot more being able to dribble and control the ball, like on the ground, like on top of my car in the last few months. That's something I've been trying to work on. So I feel like that's something that can help with the ground game.
Yeah. Well,
And
I mean, I think it is like you have to put yourself. You have to be willing to just sort of slog through things that you're not good at. I mean, we
mhm,
did all these things knowing full well that we sucked at it. Like, how many times did we whiff on the wall? How many aerials
yeah,
did we miss? How many? It was just more like, all right, we're gonna have to deal with it. But and you sort of said this earlier, but your teammate, I think, is the biggest thing, is that we both have played, we both have gotten better. Um, and so if you're just playing with randoms the whole time, you have sometimes
mm,
randomly good or randomly bad teammates. If they suck, it's gonna make it harder for you.
yeah. And
Trust me, I
I,
know.
I I always know when Corey has played with those types of random people because I usually generally play like maybe once or twice a week with him. He plays more than me off without me. But when his rank is
changed in the negative aspect. I'm like, pretty good teammates this week, huh, buddy?
Sure. Wow. Listen, it's not always
No,
sunshine and rainbows with you either, pal.
no, but I mean, I would say, and I don't play with Random because of it. Like they don't know how I play. You don't know how they play. Like if we just played you and we would. I think would be Diamond would be our base if it's
Yeah.
just us instead of playing with randoms at times.
Well, nobody uses a mic.
That too.
It's like everyone's afraid to
That
talk
too.
to each other.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
What
Not because of people like me. You're
a
trash.
save! That's something. That's when teammates too. Like as soon as something happens, just muscle memory. I don't even have to think about it. I can't even say what the button is, but I know what a save is in the game when you whiff, and you know it
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
quick
it's
too.
left down.
Yep, that's the same for me too. Then, but one other thing I would say is in terms of we got a lot better defensively,
Mhm.
like being able to stop shots that aren't on the ground. We've gotten better at, and like just positioning on defense too. Like I think a lot of what problems people have is they play from the goal, and that cuts off your corners and stuff. Like I started to try to play on the back pole a lot when the balls come instead of in the goal trying to hit it. And you get a better angle. I think you can read it off the wall because you know those. Anyone who plays Rocket League knows when it's coming from the corner and it gets that weird bounce where it's slightly off the wall and you can't read that because you're in the goal, so you think it's on the wall. Being on that back post and seeing like the direct angle, I think has helped a lot with knowing, okay, I got to get this off the wall or know it's on it.
Yeah, for the
So just
longest time, you were a front post guy.
you don't care what post is, you taking it. Yeah. But we talked about like
Trash.
how to get better. Like, what keeps you coming back to Rocket League? Like, what? Because I know you play it more than me. So, like, what would you say the biggest reason for your love of the game is?
Just because I'm a baller. You know what I mean, I'm just a player. I'm a primetime player. I mean, I'm always on, ready to go. This talent's God given, etc. Um, it's just fun. I don't know. I mean, I like cars. I like racing. I like the competition. It's a game that you and I play, and so that's what makes it fun. But because we don't suck. Like it'd be
No.
different if we were just constantly getting trashed. Like, and at times that's what makes Warzone not fun. And there was a stretch of Rocket League that we were getting killed
Yeah.
every time, and it wasn't fun. But it's yeah, because like we don't suck, and many a night we'll play 8, 10 matches and lose once. Sometimes not at all. Sometimes we
Mm,
blow people out. Other times we're able to grind out a 1-0 victory with 70
mm,
plus minutes of overtime.
yeah.
Sometimes we lose those, and that sucks. But I don't know. It just like I definitely enjoy it more than you, but it is a guaranteed win for the most part. We'll know
It,
if we play, we'll win something. At least in Call of
yeah.
Duty, it's yeah, probably not.
Yeah. And we are both competitive people. Um, and I think that part of what it is too is like we're competitive and like I know early on like oh aerial guy, so then oh you want to be aerial guy or like you're doing something I can't do. I'm like okay I got to figure that out now so I can't have that held over me.
Wide open shots. Oh my gosh. If there'd be a fast break, like, all right, Lawrence, it's all you. Don't miss it. Guaranteed to shank it. Guaranteed.
because of talking, they just don't
Announcers
say
jinx.
anything
Announcers jinx. Yeah, but
or
that's the best though. If you miss a game winner, oh, nothing
yeah.
is better. Because
Or
like,
Friday night when I have open goal and I get rammed from what I think is the other team, and then my car's flipped to see your star spangled truck riding me up the rear. I'm like, oh, hey, buddy.
excuse me. Um,
We did end up winning that match though, so
but I think to your point though, it's getting better because the other person is better than you, and so you don't want to hear them.
yeah. So
That's Rocket League. We always start with Rocket. Well, not recent. The last few weeks has been we do our stream then Warzone because some of the people we play with don't play Rocket League, so we do Warzone then Rocket League.
Because they are super trash. Elmer, you ever see this? Yeah, I'm talking about you.
But if it's just Corey and I playing, we generally start with Rocket League, then go to Warzone, which leads us to our next game, which we play, and
He tries.
Call of Duty, and it used to be Call of Duty multiplayer back in the day, but now it
Call of Duty
is
4.
Warzone. Yeah, those are the days.
Many of college class was missed because I'd rather be playing that.
Yeah, and just grinding that stuff out.
Worth it.
But I think ever since we played Blackout, we've primarily played Battle Royale Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is Rocket League is kind of Corey's game. I think he does I think Warzone would be mine. I like it because I think probably for a reason you like Rocket League is just like it's a competitive game against other people, but it's you versus them, and like no matter how many times we've won, and on the regular Warzone we're each 100+ victories, so it's not like we don't win. When you get that win, it's always just exciting and exhilarating. Like, hey, I just bested 145 other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, although we've had a couple wins that were, how in the world did we spend the whole time we hiding or dead. We have no gear. We get lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no,
But I think that's like what you said about Rocket League. Those ones are like the grinded out 1-0 wins where we have 6 75-point saves. Like those Warzone wins are like just so awesome because we don't have any advantage and we somehow are able to pull it out.
Host advantage.
Yeah, host advantage back in the multiplayer days. But let's talk about where the state of Warzone 2 is. Personally, I think they made some pretty decent changes with Season 2. Getting rid of the 2v2 gulag, I think, was a really smart choice by them.
Mm-hmm.
Making loadouts far more accessible now. We get it way, we can probably count on both hands the number of times we got it with Season 1 with Warzone 2.
Oh, yeah, almost never.
Yeah. But now I feel like probably a little bit less than first Warzone, but I'd say it's a pretty similar now in terms of us actually getting our loadout.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes a big difference because like getting your high alert perk or stuff. So I think they made a good change in making that more accessible. The buy stations seem to be spread out a little bit more, so they're not just grouped together and then you have huge swaths of land without anything. But it still has, I think, a decent amount to go until it is where Warzone 1 was in terms of just playability.
And that does kind of suck because like Warzone 1, although not perfect, and maybe just because we spent so much time playing that, but I miss it. I mean, Verdansk.
Yeah.
I miss Verdansk.
But and you think about everything that went into that, like it came out at a time when pretty much there was nothing you could do in at least the United States in terms of just going out and doing anything. So that was like beginning of COVID, and we played the crap out of that game. Like you, me, and Cole, one of our friends who hasn't played with us for a while.
Not that.
But you're right, and to me, I think that's what everyone's saying. Like, I don't think if Warzone 2 was the first game, I don't think it'd be hate on as much. But because everyone knows what Warzone 1 was, but they wanted to get back to that.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, but one thing I will say I like better is the Warzone 1 movement, all that slide cancel and stuff. I'm so glad they got rid of that and the broken stims and just the things that just weren't about skill base.
Yeah, but on the flip side, I feel like we never snipe anymore, or like people rarely do because they're just not super accurate, and like that has changed completely. I like, as you've said, plenty of times not getting wrecked from 200 meters by an AR.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. But there's just like certain aspects of the game that I feel like have gone away, like the like sniping.
I will say, Elmer and I played yesterday, and there was a lot of snipers. There's a new one in the season pass. I don't know if it's not been nerfed or just overpowered. We were getting sniped all over the place.
Then maybe I should
Yes,
be careful
yesterday.
of what I wish for.
Yeah, yeah, it was bad. Like, and it was like one shot from the chest down. Like, it wasn't even I got hit and had a chance to do anything.
Real life. Nice.
But yeah, no, that was fun back in Warzone 1, like the Car 98,
Oh my
being
god,
able
the
to
Car 98 was so fun.
yeah, because you could be a little bit more mobile than a sniper, and like team shooting that. Oh, so good, so good.
Mm.
But I would also say in terms of Warzone and Warzone 2, it's just the player number has been down. So you like the cheating. Like, do you feel like the system's working like it did in Warzone 1? Like, how do you think it stands in terms of that? In terms of like, that's kind of seems sus when you see a kill cam or something.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like they only recently brought back kill cams, didn't they?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
like
there's so many times I thought that we were getting cheated, but again, everyone who beats us is a cheater. So, but in Warzone, it probably is true half the time. Because yeah, there's just times where like, what? Like how did that person? Or on the flip side, you are just lacing somebody, yet you can't even break armor.
hmm
It's like
So,
this.
so do you think it's like the a lot of people think there's bullet based skill bait, like your bullets will do less damage if you're doing better than the guy you're shooting at. Do you think that's legit?
I mean, it feels like it is at times. Again, I hate to like, if I'm in the moment, oh, it absolutely exists. But I mean, taking a step back, it feels like it does. I mean, both you and I have experienced, witnessed. Like,
hmm
wow, how did you not knock that guy? So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, we will never know. It's sort of like 9/11. Actually, exactly like 9/11. In terms of did it, was it Bush? Who knows? And is
Right.
Activision or whoever makes that stupid game, um, are they nerfing our bullets because we're the best? Probably, but we'll never actually know.
Yeah, that could really, yeah. If that ever was leaked and it was real, that infuriate a lot of people.
I mean, they
And
would.
you think in today's world where people can sue over movie trailers that are misleading because what doesn't end up in the final film, you would think video game makers might be a little hesitant to be like, if it is happening and it gets leaked out, there may be legal repercussions. Like, because people put money and time into this, and I mean, the way the world is going, if you put money and time into things and things are happening on the DL that affect what you're doing with that time and money,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sucks, but it seems like it's like there's always a lawsuit that can be won.
Oh, I mean, especially if it is affecting how, especially the streamers that make a bunch of money, like
hmm
us. Yeah, totally.
We do make a lot of money, just not
Not
from
here.
this, not from this. Um, but we'll close Warzone out with like, what would you like to, if you could choose one thing to make it better right now? Like, what would you change in it to make it a better game?
I still hate the book bags. I don't know what it is. I just don't like the book because it just feels like it takes more time when you navigate inside of it than it did before,
hmm
where you just push down, you have all of those tabs. Um, but that's
I'm with you on that.
yeah.
And I don't like that. Like, we used to be able to like hold all types of ammo,
Mm-hmm.
and that helped teammates. Now, like, I'm not going to hold ammo I don't have a
I mean,
gun
rockets,
for.
baby.
Yeah, the old Warzone one. Anybody have any rockets? You don't even ask that anymore because we ain't taking up a book bag slot,
Just trash.
and especially now because they got rid of like they don't give you the bigger book bag sizes anymore. I think you get what 6 inventory slots.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them have to be armor. You have to set aside 2 for armor because like if you get in a gunfight in end game, you're not getting any extra plates.
Mm-hmm.
And just like when a teammate comes back, I mean, I think you're right. Like, just the book bag eliminates. Hey, I got some sniper ammo I'm not using. Here you go. I got rockets. Here you go.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that was strategic or if it's just something they didn't really think about in terms of what it will affect. And you mentioned how like sometimes we had those grinded out wins. That was where like either you or I had stuff, and the other one came back and were able to give you, hey, here's some ammo, here's a gun, so you have a chance.
Well, I mean, plus it was pretty strategic because we're like, okay, I'm running AR and it's
Mm-hmm.
sniper. Okay, I'll run SMG and sniper. I don't know. It was just we
It
could
was.
sort of use the other person as a ammo cache.
Yeah. And that, yeah, that is lost now because we used to talk way more about, okay, you're using snipe AR, I'll use SMG in this, so we have someone for close quarters and everything. I would like to see ARs be more viable. Like, all anybody ever gets for loadout or guns seems to be LMGs right now.
Mm-hmm.
So just like they have a ton of bullets, so you can coal it up and miss a bunch of your shots and still maybe. Oh, Cole. Cole, I hope you watch this someday. We love you, bud. But I'll never forget Cole. One time we were playing on Warzone 1. We were in the shipment yard. He's on top of a crane. The dude, he sees an enemy. He has no idea Cole's there. Cole has him dead to rights. Goes through an entire LMG clip, and I think he did 20 damage with 100 bullets on a dude who had no idea he was. And I did just die and laugh. And I think Cole's getting more frustrated because I'm watching. Yes, I'm dead and watching him, but still. Oh
That's
God.
awesome.
See, I don't think that happened as much in this Warzone 2 with just funny moments.
Yeah.
Like they're just laughing or anything like that.
It's so serious.
It is. And I think that's something that's changed a lot in video games too, is it's all about winning and being the best. Like we used to play I don't remember what Call of Duty it was, but we'd hold the pool table room. There's this building that had a pool table in the basement, and we would just go in there. We didn't care what happened. Nobody was getting the pool table room. We'd be stationed around the room and all
Was
of
it
that.
was it Modern Warfare?
I just don't remember which one it was,
Oh.
which Modern Warfare.
No,
But
but
like,
I think it was 4.
yeah, it might have been 4. But it just like that was just fun because we didn't care if we won or lost. It was just nobody's getting this room, and people just keep coming down, and we just kill them. They'd be so frustrated. Like, you just gotta stay alive. Keep that house.
Pool table room.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, that was a good time.
it was. So, video games. I am on. After this show, I'm actually going to be heading to north of Tampa for a retro video game get together where there's going to be a lot of retro video game vendors selling their wares.
I bet that place is gonna smell great.
Kind
All
of
the
like,
leaves coming out of the woodwork.
right? But no, it's
I mean,
it's a group I'm in on Facebook.
you're
And
going.
I'm going.
Yeah.
One night a week I actually have dedicated to. You can kind of see the TV back over my left shoulder. I have a retro video game set up with 3 CRTVs with systems hooked up to them all. So now it's just collecting the games. I got all the systems. Now it's time to start collecting more games.
Always.
Oh, is it? Yeah. So that is going to end our Sticks show today in Sticks and Skins. We've got it down, saying it now. Corey might have a show next week, but I am going to be heading to London on Friday, and then we'll not be back until Sunday of the following week. It is my spring break at my school, so heading to foggy old London. It looks like it's going to be rainy in 50s there, but I got a rain jacket, so it's all good. 5XLT, baby, gonna fit real good.
XLT, would you like 6 foot?
No, it's the XLT because the gut comes out enough.
Oh, sick.
So the XLT makes it so it hangs below the gut a good amount. So I don't have to worry about raising my hand and gut showing.
Boom, boom.
That's why I buy the tall ones, because it gets like the wide does. I'm not wide. I'm wide in the sense of if I measured from like face to butt, with that way, not side to side. So I don't need the wide. I need the tall to make it stretch down below the stomach.
That's what they call a pro tip.
Yeah, you're welcome. So thank you all for joining us. I did see a few viewers throughout the episode. We got up to 2 or 3.
Boom.
So
Rapidly expanding.
we are, just like your waistline. Hope you all had fun. Some point we'll probably end up showing some of our gameplay so you can see us play the games we talked about.
Totally.
You're welcome. If you go to my Twitch channel, you can see some of the Warzone and multiplayer videos I posted this past week.
Trash.
But for Corey, I am Lawrence Foster. Thank you for joining us on Sticks and Skins. Have a great rest of your Sunday.
Bye.